goodness. We're not going to talk about my sunglass tan. My sunglasses tan on my face. I look like a raccoon. Ugh. Hey guys, I'm back. Did you guys miss me? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back from my summer hiatus. It's good to be back, and today I'm going to talk about some of the favorite things I read this summer. I won't be talking about everything I've read this summer, but if you want to know everything I read, go check out my Instagram. I am very active on Instagram, so if you're curious what everything I read, it's there. I have series that I've completed reading. I have some things that surprised me over the summer. There is something in here for everybody. It's not just shoujo and it's not just horror. So there's something for everybody. So please stick around. But if you're not interested in sticking around for the whole video, I put timestamps in the description so you can jump around to the series that you're most interested in. So first up, I'm going to talk about the series that I completed. These aren't all the series I completed, but these are some of the most memorable ones. One of those series is My Love Story. I buddy read this with Profitaku and Laura A. Grace, and it was so much fun. I'm so happy I finally read this. I don't have volume 6 and 7, but I was able to read them off the Viz Manga app, so thank you, Viz Manga app. I still have my volume 6 and 7 back ordered, so whenever they come in, hopefully soon, I can complete my collection of this. But this was such a fun read. I think it was more funny than Takane and Hana. To be honest, this is probably like my favorite rom-com series. It was so funny. There was so many like misunderstandings and things like that, but it was done in such a funny way and not an annoying way. You know how like some of the misinterpretations can just drag on too long? It doesn't in this. It was so fun. I laughed out loud so many times reading this. Honestly, my favorite relationship in this series was Takeo and Suna. All right? Yeah, I got it right this time. Takeo and Suna's relationship, they just have such a healthy friendship, and I loved it so much. It was just such a fun time. I really enjoyed. There wasn't a volume in the series that I thought was slow or boring. It was all fun. I highly recommend this series if you're looking for just a fun, silly, yet heartwarming series. This is it. The art is amazing. The funny faces that we get in this series are just here's one right here. They're just so funny. I just love it. It's by the same mangaka as High School Debut, which I finished reading earlier this year. So good. Anything by this mangaka, Kazune Kawahara, just take my money. I will buy, no questions asked. So I highly recommend this if you're looking for a great laugh. Okay, so I didn't finish reading this series, but I came close. I think I only have like 4 more volumes to read in this series, and that is the Quintessential Quintuplets. I can now proudly say I can type out quintessential without having any help from autocorrect, and I think that is a big deal. It's about some quintuplet sisters that are having a hard time in school, and they get this tutor to tutor them, and they all slowly fall in love with him one by one. But basically in the beginning of volume 1, it says one of the girls ends up marrying Usugi, which is the main male character, and it's just kind of like, who's it gonna be? Like, it's kind of like a mystery of which girl is going to end up with him, and I love that. So I have like 4 more chapters to read, but Miku is my favorite. It's so much fun. The sisters all have different personalities, and just, I thought it'd be hard to kind of tell them apart, but they each have like a different like hairstyle or like hair clips or something. Like she has some hair clips. Miku has headphones, and Yotsuba has this little bandana, like headband thing. So it's a lot of fun. I'm still enjoying it. I can't wait to see who ends up with him. I'm rooting for my girl Miku. So don't spoil it in the comments below, okay? I don't want to know yet. But yeah, I really need to finish this. I'll probably finish this. Maybe I'll finish it this month. I don't know. I really like when the sisters kind of swap places and try to get Usugi to figure out which one is which, and it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. Okay, this one was kind of surprising. I've kind of stayed away from this series because of the content, but it's really tastefully done, and that is Oh Maidens in Your Savage Season. It's a coming of age story about these girls in this literature club, and they are learning about themselves, about love, and things like that. And I heard that like there was some like sexual kind of like discussions in it, but it was done very tastefully. I highly recommend this. It was super cute. I really wanted to pick this up because it's by the same mangaka or artist. I don't know. I'll have to double check. As Forget Me Not. So I really like Forget Me Not. So I was very curious about this. I gave volume 1 a try and immediately went out and bought the rest of the series because it was so engaging. The art is gorgeous. The story is super fun. The girl friendships are great. I love the childhood friendship between our main female character and the main male character. It's so cute. It's fun. I really liked it. I got a couple chuckles out of it myself. I was pretty oblivious to like love and stuff in high school as well. So some of the things they talk about, I'm like, yeah, okay, I kind of thought that too. So I highly recommend this if you're looking for a kind of a slice of life, a school life, romantic kind of, I guess you could call it a comedy. I don't think it really is a comedy, but it was really sweet and cute. So I highly recommend you pick this up. So this next series, I really enjoyed it, but there were some things that really were turning me off about it. I had to push through at some points because there were some things that I did not like about it, but the mystery and the sci-fi aspect of it just had me in a chokehold, and that is Gantz. And guys, don't look at this part. Don't look at this part. This is where the sticker was. I tore it off. It's a parental advisory sticker. So yeah, you guys know how I feel about stickers on books, okay? I've got to get some like goof off or Gugon. Yeah, Gugon. That's the stuff to get this off, but let's just not. Okay. So yeah, I actually ended up really enjoying this series. I was kind of hesitant because I did not like, what was the name of it? Gigant by the same mangaka, but I really loved Inuyashiki from the same mangaka. And guys, there were some things I really didn't like about it, and there were some things I really loved about it. Obviously, the sci-fi story that was happening, I really enjoyed. But the things that really bothered me about this were how the women were portrayed in this series. They were just portrayed as like sleazy, dumb, easy objects, basically. None of the women in this had like either good endings or I don't know how to explain it, but they were just not treated right, I feel like. The ones I did really like, they were very headstrong, but then they ended up doing something stupid because they're in love with another character, and I'm just like, how could you be in love with a character like you just met him like, I don't know, a day ago or something? So that really bothered me. Not to mention like in the beginning, on every chapter page, there was like a half naked girl on it, which perpetuated the women are objects kind of thing in this. So I did not appreciate that, but I pushed through and I really enjoyed the sci-fi aspects of it. It was a fun ride. It was a crazy ride. The art in this is amazing. Let me see if I can find some panels that are okay for this. Yeah, because it is very graphic. It's gory. There's some nudity in it, like I mentioned. The art is amazing. If you know this mangaka, the art's just wow. I'm like, can we have like a smart girl in this series that's not just giving herself away just randomly? I don't know. But yeah, it was so good. So good. I really enjoyed it. It's an insane ride. This is not for young audiences, so you have to be mature to read this. So it's kind of hard for me to recommend this, but this is something I read and enjoyed, but it's hard for me to recommend because of the things I've talked about. But if you love sci-fi, I think you'll really enjoy this. Another series that I finished this summer is Run on Your New Legs. This was so good. It's a short series. It's a 5-volume series. It wrapped up this summer, and it's about a boy that loses one of his legs, and he was a soccer player and now he can't play soccer. He's trying to figure out things after having this life-altering accident. He finds that running track fills that soccer void in his heart. It's a really enjoyable series. It's all about like perseverance and finding that thing in your life to keep you going. It's just so good. I really enjoyed all the characters. Something that was very unique in this story is in the later volumes, COVID pops up and it shows how it impacts some of the athletes in this, and it's something that I have not read in manga before, but it was very interesting. Especially coming out of COVID and being on the other side of the pandemic. It was very interesting to see how it affected the characters and their thoughts on how this was going to be. Like, oh, in a couple weeks this will be over. I'm like, sorry to say, no. But it was interesting reading it. I highly recommend this if you are into sports manga. And even if you're not in the sports manga, I learned a whole lot like reading this. I used to run track in my high school days, and I knew about track, but learning about the prosthetics was very interesting, and I highly recommend it. The last kind of like a series, I guess, it's not really a series, but I really enjoyed Soichi. It's the new Junji Ito that's come out over the summer. I did a review for Beneath the Tangles, so if you're interested in reading it, click on the link in the description and you'll hear all my thoughts about it. But oh my goodness, I really enjoyed this. It was a lot of fun. I recommend this for beginners of the horror genre or just Junji Ito. This is a great entry level into Junji Ito's work. I think you'll find it fun and interesting, and it's not as graphic or gory as some of his other things, but it's just a fun time. It's really good. I had a great time reading it. It's about this kid, Soichi, that causes trouble and loves pulling pranks on his cousins and other people that drive him nuts. One of these short stories really cracked me up. Emphasis on crack. But one of my favorite quotes in this was, "How dare he expose my butt to the light of day? Looking at my butt is a serious crime. You won't get away with this." It made me laugh out loud. Basically, one of the students pulled down Soichi's pants on accident, trying to get him down from the fence, and everyone saw his butt. Just that line made me crack up. But this whole story, what was it called? Teacher of Cloth, made me crack up for several different reasons, but that was one of them. But yeah, if you're new to Junji Ito, I highly recommend you maybe start with Soichi, or Tombs is another good starting point. But highly recommend this if you're a Junji Ito fan or a horror fan. It's not really horror, I guess. There's not a lot of gore or guts in this, but it was a fun ride. It's more of a prankster kind of with some supernatural things that happen that are unexplained. So I highly recommend it if you're into that kind of thing. So these last 6 are ones that surprised me. I didn't think I was going to like them as much as I did for a reason or another. I'll explain. First up, we're going to talk about My Girlfriend's Child. I didn't think I was going to like this series because, one, the art. This cover is, I mean, it's kind of weird. Also, I didn't think I would like reading about like a teen pregnancy. It was written really well and the art style grew on me. I was surprised, but it doesn't have like a ton of dialogue. The expressions on the faces and things say a lot, like this panel right here. But it was very interesting. The relationship between our 2 main characters is very solid and they communicate pretty well. There's a few misunderstandings, but they get solved pretty quick, I feel like. But yeah, I was very surprised by this. I read volume 2 as well, and I'm very much looking forward to volume 3. It's about this couple. They have been a couple for a while, and oopsies, she becomes pregnant, and it's just them trying to figure out what to do, how to tell their parents, things like that. It's about them trying to figure out what the right thing to do is, and it's done really well. So I cannot wait to see what happens next. The next one that didn't think I would like because, one, it's by Tokyo Pop, and 2, it's only a 2-volume series, and that is My Coworker Has a Secret. So my girl Laura was talking about this on her channel. I'll try to find the video where she was talking about it, and I'll link it down below if I can. If not, I'll link her channel below and you can check it out. But yeah, I was on the fence because usually Tokyo Pop titles are a mess for me. And this one shocked me. I was really blown away by this. It's so cute, so relatable. It's about this woman, and she has spent her paycheck on idol like merch and things like that. So totally relatable, because I spent all my extra money on manga, so relatable. She is struggling to figure out what she's going to eat for lunch because she has no money. She finds this random bento box on a bench and it belongs to him, and they meet that way, and it's really cute. If you love office rom-coms, I highly recommend this. It was so much fun. I read volume 1 and immediately bought volume 2, and I'm just so glad I took Laura's advice on picking this up because I highly enjoyed it. I was giggling, I was laughing. It's so cute, and I just love it. It's so much fun. So if you like office rom-coms or just comedy in general, I would highly recommend this. This one ends on a cliffhanger, so make sure you have volume 2. Either you have volume 2 or you have volume 2 on the way. If you're looking for a short and sweet romance series, this is it. So this next one that surprised me is The Summer Hikaru Died. I didn't think I would like this one because it's got like some BL kind of undertones to it. Also, some of the horror manga that I picked up from this last year has been very disappointing. I'm looking at you, PTSD Radio, but pick this one up. I read it and oh my goodness, it was so good. It was actually like horrifying. So it's, the story is very interesting. It's about these 2 boys that are friends, and one of them ends up dying. Obviously, the Summer Hikaru died. Hikaru died. But he comes back and it's not Hikaru. So what or who is it? And his friend is trying to figure this out while dealing with the grief of losing his friend and trying to figure out if he should be friends with this thing that's in his friend's body. So it's very, very psychologically interesting as well as like just straight up horrifying. So it kind of has like Shuzo Oshimi vibes to it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I cannot wait to see what happens in the next volume. Let's see if I can. It's not very graphic or gory as of yet. It is rated teen, so I feel like it would be okay if you don't like that much gore or, you know, gross happening. What's his friend's name? Yoshiki. Yoshiki is the friend's name. I'm just wondering how Yoshiki is going to go forward. I don't want to spoil anything in this, so I'm not going to say much else, but I highly recommend this. There's like a sense of impending doom, I feel like, or eeriness surrounding this town that they live in, and yeah, I cannot wait to see what happens next. Here's another series that I've been loving this summer, and it is Komi Can't Communicate. But I know you're thinking to yourself, but Marg, I thought you were going to drop this series. Yeah, I was going to, and then I'm like, you know, I have volumes 1 through like 20 something, so maybe I'll read another volume. I ended up reading 10 to 11 volumes of the series, and I am loving it again. I love it. It's so much fun. It's one of those manga series that you can just sit down and turn off your brain and just have a good time. I love the characters. Mad props to the mangaka that can create so many different characters with so many different personalities and make them all look different. There's been so many series that I've read where they don't have near as many characters and I'm getting them confused with each other because they look similar. They need to take lessons from this mangaka, Tomohito Oda, and learn how to like make their characters look different. But I'm really enjoying it. It's so much fun. There are some characters that I don't like super love, but I don't hate any right now. I'm going to continue on with Komi because, yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. I'm in a place in my life where I need to just shut off my brain sometimes. Well, let's get real. I like shut my brain off a lot. So this series is perfect for that. So I highly recommend it if you need to turn off your brain too. All right, this next one I wasn't going to pick up because it just didn't seem that interesting to me. And that is Soloist in a Cage. I don't know. I just saw the cover and I'm just kind of like, okay. I don't know. But oh my goodness, the first chapter, I read this in Barnes & Noble. I almost finished it, reading it in Barnes & Noble because I was reading the first chapter or two to find out, to see if I want to pick it up because the key word in it was apocalyptic. So I'm like, okay, I feel like I need to give it a chance because if you don't know, I love apocalyptic type stories, and yeah, I was hooked. I was hooked within the first chapter, and this has like a lot of heart in it. And yeah, it's about this girl who is on her own because her parents disappeared at the beginning of the apocalypse. And she is trying to take care of her baby brother and feed him, protect him, keep him quiet. This is a world where they are not able to go outside much. The children, for some reason, I'm not sure why just yet, but it's a really, really intriguing story. I cannot wait to find out what happens next. I was just very surprised by this. I think we get volume 2 here soon. So I can't wait to read more of this. But if you like dystopian type stories, I would highly recommend you give this a try. There's a lot going on in it. There's robots, there's prisoners, there's kids that can't go outside. So there's a lot going on. And I want to find out more about what's going on in this dystopian society. So if you like any of that, or if any of that sounds interesting to you, give it a try. All right, last but not least is a series I decided to pick up because, I mean, the cover. Let's be honest, the cover. It is What He Who Doesn't Believe in Fate Says. I think I heard Emily from Meet the Weeb Family talking about this and how much she liked it. And I'm like, I'll give it a try. The cool thing about this manga is that you can see the red string of fate, like in the, in here. You can see it like right here, and it shows up as red. And I think that's really cool. It's another office romance, and I'm a sucker for those, if you guys can't tell. But I'm really enjoying it. Basically, it's about this guy who has a crush or is in love with his coworker, and his red string of fate is not tied to her, it's tied to somebody else. But he's just, through this whole thing, he was like, I really like her. Do I just ignore the red string of fate, or do I follow the string of fate and see who I end up with? It's really good. I really enjoy the characters. I really love their back and forth. I think we get the second one at the end of this month, I believe, but I am so excited. I cannot wait to find out what's going to happen next, because at the end of this one, we find out where his string is attached to. So it's gonna be so good, so interesting. So I feel like it's gonna be drama filled too. So anyways, I highly recommend this if you like office romances as well, and just great art. I mean, you guys saw the art. So those are all the series that I really enjoyed this summer. Like I said, that's not all of the things I read this summer. There's tons more. So go check out my Instagram account. There's a link to it below. Did you guys read any of these over the summer? Let me know your thoughts on them in the comments, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye!